It's now time for Party Chat Sports.
The only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?
What is up, Party Chat Sports? We are back again, another episode here. We got myself, Dillon, Drew, and Cam. And today we have a special episode ranking the running backs in this draft class. It is an excellent draft class for running backs this year. And Drew and myself decided to put together a consensus top 10 list. And Cam is here to give us his thoughts on our list as we do a little bit of an unveiling and unranking of the top 10 with some honorable mentions mixed in there as well. But yeah, that's what today's all about. So if you're into that type of thing, drop a like on the video and we'll jump into it. But yeah, any overall thoughts, Drew, Cam, on this overall running back class?
Yeah, I got one. I
Okay.
think this might be one of the deepest running back classes that we've seen in a long time. There's a solid 6 or 7 dudes that can be instant starters or at least be contributors on kind of any team possible.
Yeah, I think that's like 13, but yeah,
13?
maybe more, maybe like 15 of these dudes could probably instantly be a running back too, and half of them can instantly be a starter if they wanted to.
Yes,
But
I would agree with that. But overall, really, really strong class, and I don't think you're going to go wrong with whatever running back you get.
it's like you're in line at Cold Stone and you just you're choosing your flavor, and it's kind of up to you if you get a bad ice cream. If you don't choose the flavor that you're going to enjoy, because they got something for everybody. So I thought that was a good analogy. It just came to me.
Interesting.
Drew, any thoughts on any of that?
Nope, no thoughts.
Okay.
Obviously,
all right.
this is one of the deepest running back classes of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know about all time, but recently.
It might be.
So a lot of
We'll see.
the late round running backs from previous years would go undrafted in this draft. Maybe
Yeah,
even
and a
some
lot
of the
of
early rounds.
mid-round guys in this draft are going to be mid-round because there are so many. And I'm sure we'll get into it when we start to talk about them individually. But anyway, I think it's a great time to get started. You can see here on our ranking on the screen that we have the top 10 consensus.
Hold on.
Oh.
Shout out Professor O for the draft
Oh,
board. Had
yes.
to use it real quick. It was beautiful.
Thank you,
it worked very
Professor
well.
O. It did.
Great.
So as you can
how we got it
see,
set up, but it's
that's okay. Don't tell them that. Also, happy opening day for MLB fans out there. My heart's already
Go
been
Sox.
broken. My heart's already been broken. You
1-0,
gotta say
baby.
which one. You gotta
White
say
Sox?
which
Red
one.
Sox. Go Red Sox, baby.
This guy's a White Sox fan.
1-0. No, that's
Anyway.
calm.
As you can see, we have a top 10, but we also have 3 honorable mentions because it is, as we've alluded to, very hard to get a top 10, I think, because we're leaving some guys out, and we'll cover that right now. So without further ado, the first honorable mention here is going to be Jaden Blue. Quick unveiling there. I love Jaden Blue, just a home run hitter and can add some lightning to the backfield. Maybe not a guy that you want to give 20 to 30 touches a game. He may not have that capability in his wheelhouse. 5'9", 200 pounds, though. I mean, he's got power. He's got speed. 4.38 with a hurt groin, ran a 4.2 at the pro day. This guy's good. This guy's good. And he's honorable mention, rank 13 on the board. So
yeah. I mean, he's one of those guys where if I took like a slower back in with my first running back pick, if I picked Scadaboo or name another
Johnson.
one.
Caleb
Giddens
Johnson.
is a little bit slower. Caleb Johnson. Then I would definitely be thinking about taking Blue later on if he's still there. So,
Or if
give
you already
yourself
have
a
one
nice
of
little
those.
combo.
Like if you're the Chargers, and you're sitting there with Najee Harris, or another example along those lines, Jaden Blue looks quite intriguing. We gave him a 4th-round grade. Obviously, positional value comes into effect here. But yeah, good player. Anything else on Jaden Blue, fellas?
Let's see the next one.
He scored a touchdown in the Natty. That's on a swing route, so
Hello?
he can run
Okay.
routes.
The next one is the 2023 rushing leader, Ollie Gordon II. And this could be controversial,
Who's
but
Texas
he didn't
in the
make it.
Natty?
I have a take
Did he
on
play
him.
for someone else?
No.
Also, yeah, good point on that. Definitely didn't, right? Didn't play in the Natty.
Oh,
No.
So, okay, just making up stuff.
just
Just
saying.
making up
Did
stuff.
you mean semifinals or whatever bowl you played in?
Came with left.
What?
Talking
We're
to you.
You, bud. You said he scored a touchdown in the Natty.
No, Jaden Blue.
Yeah.
What
Did he
Natty?
not? Was he not
What
one of
Natty was
there
he in?
Which one?
Is Jaden Blue not on Texas?
He
He
is.
is.
When has Texas played in the Natty?
Or not? Oh, semifinals. I'm sorry. That was the actual Natty for me. Notre Dame's a bum school. So, anyways, Ollie Gordon.
Yeah,
Gordon should have probably left last year. His team got worse, so he gets worse. I saw a very long clip on him. I still think he has the physical tools, but
he's a big guy.
he needs a good offensive line for him to actually be able to work because he's very decisive, and that kind of hurts him in the long run. He picks his holes and is ready to run somebody over, and that could be frustration from going from a Big 12 championship appearance to a team that won 6 games, maybe 5.
They were bad. They were not good.
So I think this last season and his team hurt him more than he hurt himself.
Also, in this class, I think running the 4.61 doesn't help you because like everybody else ran like a 4.4 or faster. So I don't know. He's power though, 6'2", 220. So 6'1.5", whatever. All right.
There's a large man. I think you're the main tool in your bag of tricks is running people over when you're that big.
Yeah. Who said that? Drew, did you say that?
That was true.
Okay. All right. You know what? We'll keep the show going. The last honorable mention, see, we haven't even made it into the top 10 yet, which is crazy. The last honorable mention is Devin Neal out of Kansas. A guy I've seen a lot of hype about. I mean, he ran for 1,200 yards, averaged more yards per attempt than the Lightning Rod, Jaden Blue. So, a guy that's got some explosiveness, even though he only ran 4.58, so very similar to Ollie Gordon and a lot smaller. He's only 5'11". He's 10 pounds lighter, smaller frame, but a guy that had, some production. So I think a quality running back or the ability for a quality running back. But, it's a loaded class. So guys like this that maybe aren't excellent in any given area, they don't make the top 10.
Also, the fact that his team went from up to down in 2 years, I think that also has a factor in it.
Drew, you back. Welcome back.
I think he'd be a 3rd-round pick, to be honest, but we'll see.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of running backs that probably go in front of him, but maybe, I don't know. You never know what's going to
Well, I
happen in the
think
draft.
there's
Correct
quite
me
a
if I'm
few-
wrong.
Okay.
Leonard
you're
Fournette
corrected.
comp for the last 2 people.
Leonard Fournette was dominant in college.
No.
I'm
Also,
saying
Leonard,
when it
Leonard
goes,
Fournette, hold on. Leonard Fournette is like huge,
yeah. So is Ollie Gordon,
but Devin Neal is not.
but he's a bigger back that is slower.
Leonard
Is he not?
Fournette. Leonard Fournette was 230 pounds and he ran a 4.5. This guy is 210 and he ran 4.6. So, no. Honestly, Ollie Gordon should probably be above Devin Neal. But, again, we ain't even into the top 10 yet. So,
I don't know about all that, but it's all right.
these are just honorable mentions.
Last year,
Anyway.
he would have been in the top 5.
Ollie Gordon would have been, yes.
Yes.
Are we ready to
Sleeping on
start the
Devin
list?
Neal. Sleeping on Devin Neal. That's fine.
Maybe. Do you think he should have been on the list?
Played him in college football 25
No,
once.
he's
got
good right
smoked.
where he's at.
All right. Well, number 10 then, if we're ready for it. Are we ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
DJ Giddens, Kansas State. Explosive guy. Ran a 4.4. 1,300 yards. Averaged 6.5 per attempt. That's a lot of yards per attempt. Forced a lot of missed tackles, a lot of yak. Our first guy on the list with over 4 yards per attempt, or 4 yards after contact per attempt. DJ Giddens, third round pick, third round rank. Good player.
He's a guy I take a lot in my mock drafts. I like him. Also, possibly because the Cowboys just hired the offensive line coach from Kansas State, so
could see the connection.
A little bit of a connection there.
Interesting stat. Ran nearly an identical 10-yard, so the 10-yard split of the 40 as 5'9" Gabe Blue. Explosive.
I mean,
explosive.
You look at 4.3 and 4.4, but it's a 4.38 and a 4.43. They're pretty close.
Although Jaden Blue again ran that 4.2 at the pro day, but this is what we got. So this is what we're working with.
And again, it's without pads. Let's remember that.
Thank you.
That's how we do measure 40 times. Yes.
I like Giddens. I like him a lot. As I already said, I take him pretty often in mock drafts.
He's got good size too.
He's a good running back. If you got to go with something else in the first round and maybe in the second round. Still good running backs throughout the whole draft. So
this is where we get into guys that can be RB1 territory.
Even like guys like this, he might get taken in the third. He might get taken later. It all depends on when running back needy teams are making their picks, who's available. But even non-running back needy teams may dip into the running back market just because they can get a solid one. So it'll be interesting to see when they start going, if they start flying off the board, or if 2 or 3 or maybe 4 of them go, and then all of a sudden they stop going for a long time. So obviously that'll affect his round. But either way, whatever round you get him in, as long as it's not the second, probably, that's a good pick. Maybe in the second, depends on who's there, but whatever.
Yeah, what's the difference between pick 32 in the second and pick 30 or pick 1 in the third? Just a couple $1 million probably, but it's fine. No, I agree. I think he's a good pick. Came into the pre-draft visit for the Steelers. I would not be mad at all if this was the pick. I'd be excited. So, no, good pick. Cam, any thoughts on DJ Giddens?
Nothing on Giddens. I haven't even looked at him.
All right. Well, he's a good player. Moving on to rank number 9, R.J. Harvey, running back out of UCF. Smaller guy, 5'8", but he's still 200 pounds, bulky. And he ran a 4.40. Pretty good explosiveness and burst. Even though that 10-yard, a stat I haven't really looked a lot on the spreadsheet, this amazing spreadsheet by Professor O. But DJ Giddens still just looks impressive. Anyway, we're past him though. R.J. Harvey, lightning rod. He averaged 6.8 per attempt, so the highest so far on the list. 22 tutties. A lot of missed tackles forced. Lower yards after contact per attempt, but good running back.
So what happens when you're smaller? 205.
Yes.
205 pounds.
Yes.
I think if you were to scroll over a little bit farther, I guess that's probably me because I'm.
That's you, here. Sir. Yep.
The explosive plays, if you want to go over here, where are they at? Boom.
54.
It's a lot higher than the honorable mentions and DJ Giddens that we've seen so far. So that's explosive plays are good. Maybe sometimes misleading because Najee is just the explosive play leader of the league, I guess.
20-yard rush. Leader of 20-yard rushes. Longest run of 20, though. It doesn't go over 20.
But I think most of the time, other than when you're looking at Najee, the explosive plays are probably a good thing. So, again, another one of these guys where if you're one, it'd be a good – if that's your only running back you're picking, that's probably a good pick. If you have a running back already on your team that's pretty good and you want to add another one to the roster, again, a good pick as well. So I like him a lot too. Normally it's between when I'm mocking, it's between Giddens and Harvey. Lately I've been leaning Giddens, but before I was Harvey.
I low key, I'd be fine if you swapped these guys, Giddens and Harvey. They like you said, they both fall in that same tier. They're like mid third round on that PFF mock draft simulator.
Yeah, and Harvey has the he's higher ADP, I suppose, as of right now. So,
but it's all about the flavor.
See what that means. But
Harvey, though, realistic NFL outcome, Harvey could just end up being the complimentary guy, whereas I think Giddens could be your 20 carry a game guy, 20, 30 carry a game guy. So maybe.
Hopefully he doesn't need that many. 15.
Right. 15 each. Not bad.
Sure.
All right. Running back number 8. Are we ready?
No.
Oh, my bad.
Listen,
RJ Harvey.
Listen. These two had a blankety blank for RJ Harvey. We send mock drafts every single morning. I don't because we only have a first and a third, so it doesn't.
I've slowed down, admittedly.
Dylan has slowed down. Drew has been sending them at 2 in the morning, 12 o'clock. I've seen it at 4 in the morning. Anyways,
it was one time.
True.
Harvey, the best. You know what? I don't hate him anymore. I think he's a good running back. I think he gives you a Bucky Irving type feel. That's my best. That's my best comp for him.
Interesting comp. Bucky
Could
Irving
be
was
really
slow.
Good. But does Bucky Irving play slow?
No, he doesn't. I'll give that to you.
No.
But he did
So
have
that's the difference. RJ Harvey plays very fast. I've seen a lot of clips of him breaking away from almost any secondary person you could ever think of. I think he's going to be a good pick that falls, and he's going to go to his second team. But RJ Harvey is a very good pick. I came around on him.
That's a big change of tune for you, actually.
I have came around on him.
That's crazy.
So good number 9.
Good.
Could be higher.
Good. I appreciate that opinion out of you, Kane. Could be higher. That's even pushing.
We're gonna see. I haven't seen the list yet.
Right. Running back number 8. Boom, Cameron Scatterball. This is going to start to be some. That's your one use. This one's going to start to be controversial because you'll see moving forward. But a guy who played his heart out on the biggest stage that Arizona State's been in a very long time. He's not going to be the explosive guy, but he's gritty, blue collar, lunch pail, everyday type of dude. He's going to get scrappy. Yards after contact. I mean, look at it. 1,200 yards after contact. Just insane. Another guy over 4 yards after contact per attempt. 21 tutties, 1,700 yards, nearly 300 attempts. I mean, the touches this guy was getting was insane. He put Arizona State on his back. And is given a second round grade, although we'll see what actually happens. But with that, I'll turn it over to our resident Arizona State man. Go for it.
If he was not white and
oh my goodness,
relatively slow, he'd be higher. But I bet, let's see,
one of those
what other kind of
things
40 times we got here? I
significant.
bet Ollie Gordon is probably similar in speed to Cam Scatterboo. I think he probably could have run, maybe should have.
If he breaks
he's
out
not
like
as
a
slow
4.6,
as everyone thinks, man. He's quick also. He also had tied for the highest vert among running backs, or it was either tied for highest or tied for second highest, either way.
He's tied for highest at the moment on our board.
Decent broad jump. So he's got the power, as you see, and part of what makes him so great is the contact balance, as you can see in the yards after contact. But
a little Jalen
finds
Warren.
a way. finds a way to stay on his feet. And
I like
so
the Jalen
we'll
Warren
see.
comp here.
We'll see how that translate against better tacklers in the NFL, but still a guy I'd want to have on my team. It's just with him, it's a little bit. It is. I'll admit it's a little bit tougher to like. I don't know if you want to say project or just kind of like convince yourself to spend a second round pick on him. But I think teams will be interested for sure. I mean, his production in college was insane. So
It was. He had a guy. He was a guy that probably had an opportunity to earn and also lose a lot of money if he ran that 40. Like if it comes in faster, I mean, he's shooting up boards. If it comes in slow, he's losing money. So I don't know. It was maybe the safe pick, letting the film speak for itself. But we'll see how that translates on draft night, where he falls and where he go. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to see what teams all these guys go to and what kind of fits that they fall
He
into.
will need the perfect team for him.
look at the missed tackles forced.
It's a lot. That is a lot. It's a lot.
All right, Scatterpoop is.
You already went over your limit.
I've called him.
No.
You're done. You've gone.
I've
past
already.
your
All
allotted
right,
time.
I'm done. I will not call him Scatterpoop anymore.
That's the third time.
You did
You
3
can't.
times.
I
Yeah.
said I wasn't going to call him
Respect
that
greatness.
anymore.
Circumventing the rules. Found the
Listen.
loophole.
Scatterbo was
Scatterboo.
puking on the sidelines
Blue game.
during a
Natty.
college football playoff game that they had to do a lot to get there, and he's the main reason. That is a guy with a lot of heart. He's got a lot to prove. He's got the chip on his shoulder.
Like a white Darren Sproul.
It's not a guy that you're going to spend a second round pick on. Like,
Mike?
in my opinion, how old
I
is he?
wouldn't.
How
I
old is he?
wouldn't. It's a good question.
That's the main
What
thing.
do I look like?
I'll look at
I
him.
mean, you're
He's
the-
23. He's 23. He's 23.
So he's semi-older, not really that old. You can get a good 4 or 5 years out of him, and maybe more if he stays healthy. He's not a bad draft pick. I think he's definitely a locker room guy. If you're gonna get
He
Scatterbo,
looks like he
Like
probably
his wife?
turned Drake. He looked like he probably put on some Drake on the JBL if he got the offer.
he's a third or fourth rounder, but he will make an impact on that team because that team will think of him as a steal. That's my take on him.
That's fair.
Hating.
All right.
No
moving
hating.
on. Moving on. We got 7 more to go. Hopefully my recording sticks because it says 0% for me. So we'll see. All right. Running back number 7 is Biashul Tutin out of Virginia Tech. This guy rising up the draft board. And you'll notice his round is 3rd, even though he is higher than Scatterbo at 2nd. That was a little bit of an internal difference between Drew and myself. It's a little bit of an internal difference between Drew and myself, but this guy, explosive. 4.32, the quickest 10-yard. I mean, 40-inch vert. Tied for the longest broad jump so far. I mean, this guy is just explosive. 6.3 yards per attempt, 15 tutties. I mean, he put up A-Chan speed numbers at 200 pounds, which is like more than A-Chan. Okay, so it's just explosive. 1,000-yard rusher on a lot less attempts, 200 attempts. So the rubber is still on the tire there. I just think this guy's a steal, and he'll be awesome, depending on what team he goes to and what fit it is. But yeah, I really like this guy. Guy that's gone up the boards after the season. Virginia Tech, they weren't in the spotlight very often. So
That 40-yard has propelled him to unimaginable heights.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of yards after contact per attempt, though. For being honest,
you can
more than Scatterboo.
Yes. He also had the same amount of fumbles on 100 less carries.
He did. That is a problem, and you just hope your coaching can fix that. But I don't judge a man based on his mistakes, unless it's Fitzgerald Toussaint in the playoffs. Then I will do that. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably no denying the speed.
And the production.
You also have to, I mean, the production's average.
What do you mean? It's the second highest yards per attempt. A lot of
Is
touchdowns. I
it?
mean, what it, so
Looks like
far?
third to me.
It's the third highest yards per attempt. My bad. You gotta squint at
But
the screen.
yeah, I don't know. He's not my favorite. I'll just say that. If he
I mean,
was
he's still
there,
seventh. I mean, there's still six other
he was
dudes
there in the
ahead.
fourth. I'd be like, yeah, heck yeah. But
Okay. I mean,
that's just
we're
me.
splitting hairs here. We're splitting hairs here.
Yeah, probably.
Cam, do you have any thoughts on this guy, or are
I
you
mean,
lost?
he's fast. It depends on the
Okay.
coach, and for him at that
Okay.
point,
Okay.
that's my take on him.
Okay. All right. Running back number 6, we ready?
Maybe.
Caleb Johnson, running back out of Iowa, second round grade, solidly now. Big guy, 6'1", 220. Ran a 4.5.
I had to
Not
fight for
bad.
this man. Let me
You did,
talk
and
about this.
in hindsight, you were right. I had some personal issues with this because I got scared because I saw Najee 2.0. But all of that stuff aside, yards per attempt, super good. Touchdowns, awesome. Yards after contact, awesome. No fumbles, 0.
That's
Great
good.
ball handling, security, um, and a big guy that is he's not the most explosive. He's got the slowest 10 yard, even though it's got got the
I mean, he's
4.57.
6'1",
He's a big
225.
guy. He's
You
a
got to
big
get him
guy.
going.
So this is a little bit of a conversation me and Drew had in this realm. Is a guy like Derrick Henry, who doesn't run the fastest 40, but he gets a lot of long plays, a lot of long touchdowns, and that's because some guys are quick, some guys are fast, and then some guys are like Derrick Henry. He is fast, but he's not quick. So maybe that 40 time, that 10 yard doesn't look so great, but he's got a second gear. Caleb Johnson might have a little bit of that. So
He does.
we'll see.
He's got the same arm length as Will Campbell.
That's as of like 2
He
days
can
ago,
play
not
tackle.
as of a month
Yeah,
ago.
he's got pro day
Not
Will Campbell arm.
He's got pro day Will Campbell arms, and this is combine Caleb Johnson. So
Yeah. No, I like him. He's like he's in the second tier of running backs. So like
yes,
we'll get to the first tier. There's probably I'm only putting 2 guys in first tier. We'll call the
yeah, 8
round
S
1
tier.
guys. I guess you can go by rounds, but still I
Yeah,
think
yes,
there's probably
yes.
like a different way to do it. But let's just
And
say that
yeah, and
Caleb Johnson is in the second tier there.
Johnson and Scattaboo are both second round ranks here, but I would say they are not in the same tier. Like Caleb
Yes.
Johnson starts this upper echelon of running backs here that can be very good. They can be your starter, running back 1, rush for 1,000 yards in a season, carry the ball 20 times a game. He can do those. He can do all these things. So,
Great production, great runs. You see it on the highlights of him. Other than that one that he almost got hawked by a linebacker.
he almost got caught by
That was the day
yes.
you turned on Caleb Johnson, but
It was
he
because
did.
you pointed it out.
He did score. So
He didn't get caught. It was just scary that he almost
yeah,
did.
maybe that linebacker's just fast.
Maybe.
Anyways, definitely a guy that you would have to consider in the second round, depending on what your needs are. I haven't really been taking him. One, because the Cowboys have a pretty early pick in the second. It happens. All right, it happens sometimes. So
Yeah,
he's like, there's a couple
trade
guys
down,
in the second round that we could probably use more potentially, depending on how all this falls. But he's definitely a good running back that I'd love to have.
if he's somehow there in the early third round, I mean, you gotta go.
It's easy.
On the
You
third,
gotta go
heck
big.
yeah, dude, easily.
That's what I'm saying. No, like you trade up, like you give up assets to go do that. Is what I'm saying. Like you just go for it.
Yeah, I would. Maybe you jump in depending on the cost to get there. Jump into the end of the second. He's still hanging around.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Johnson's a great running back. He's
Big Ten rushing
pretty
leader.
high up for me. He's probably top 5 for me. He was arguably the number 2 running back. I would say before the playoffs. which the playoffs did propel a couple different people because they get to play in those big games. And like you got to remember, this dude he's playing an NFL offense essentially. Like he is, other than the passing because Iowa can't pass,
He's playing a 2000s NFL offense, is what he's doing.
but he can run the ball. He can run the ball
1990s.
just as
can
good
run
as
the ball.
anybody in the draft.
It's good. That's
And
good.
it's
He is a running back.
that okay. That's it though. I think he could be running back 3 or 4.
That's good. No, I don't argue that. He's good. All right. The next two running backs. So me and Drew could not come to a consensus on the rankings of these guys, and really 3, 4, and 4. You see, they're both ranked 4 because I had one guy higher, Drew had another guy higher. 3, 4, 4 they're all kind of mixture here. But again, they're all a part of that Caleb Johnson
They're all
tier.
interchangeable.
Yeah, so I'm going to reveal both 4s at the same time. And they're pretty similar. Both 4s are Dylan Sampson and Travion Henderson. So I put Henderson above Sampson. I think Drew put Sampson above Henderson.
I did.
I love Henderson. The home run stuff that I saw is just awesome. But obviously you see the 4.43, the 1.5, 1,000 yards. Yards after contact, 4.43. That's actually the highest on the list, even though the 63 yards after contact is wrong, Professor O. It's wrong. There's no way that's true. Anyway, it's more like 600 or something.
It'd be
No fumbles.
diabolical. I think when you calculated the actual total was like 642.
Yes, yeah,
So just
yeah. It's
pretend there's a
basically
4
that.
in between there.
Yeah. So, and he's not a big guy, but he's big enough. I mean, he's 200 pounds. And also, not that this is the most important thing of a running back, but like he's the best running back in pass pro, like the best, even though he's only 5'10", 200. Like he's awesome. So I think if he was your second running back, like that's awesome. Like he's going to be that lightning rod, just like he was at Ohio State.
He was the second running back at Ohio
Just
State.
like he was at Ohio State.
And that's kind of why I dinged him. He's not.
Yeah.
He wasn't even running back 1 on his own team. I mean, they
He
got
didn't have to
used
be.
at a similar rate. It wasn't like Judkins was taking all the snaps and he was just coming in like every couple times a game. Like he was in there pretty often.
We'll see the numbers side by side pretty shortly here.
What were the explosive plays here? I forget. Let me highlight one of these.
Yeah, jump on over there. Explosive plays. 32.
32 for Travion.
Yeah, and then you look at like
38.
Sampson. He had 38 with 110 more rushes.
Yes.
So Travion is a lightning rod.
Yeah,
But so
I
was
like
Sampson.
Dylan Sampson better.
Yeah,
1,500 yards just about on the ground, 22 touchdowns. The missed tackles forced. Look at that. That's the highest other than Scattaboo so far.
it's a lot.
Good yards after contact. Just
Not a good yards after contact per attempt though,
that's okay.
relatively speaking.
The fumbles. He's also like
Second
200
lowest.
What are the weight differences here? Oh, they're about the same
They're identical.
size. Travion's a little taller. But you gotta think. Sampson was playing against. It's not like either of these guys were small time college players.
No, they
Like,
both
were
played
both
against A1. They were
Big
both
Ten defense, SEC defenses, and so the production definitely matters. Obviously, one of these guys, or maybe even a couple of these guys on this list, you'll be like, oh, well, he was doing it against these tiny scrub
RJ
schools.
Hardy.
But once you start getting into some of these powerhouse schools who are playing other powerhouse schools, or at least good conference schools, the production starts to matter a little bit more. And so that's what I like out of Dylan Sampson. I think he's good. And I'm fine with having him tied with Travion here. I like Travion as well. So
I like
again, we're
Travion
kind of
more.
in an area where
But listen,
can't really go wrong.
on every statistical per attempt, Travion beats Sampson. Whether it's yards per attempt, which is 7, which is outrageous. Maybe not touchdowns. I don't know for sure, but yards after contact, fumbles. Travion had 0. Dylan had 4. Explosive plays. Just taking a look at the receiving yards, Travion had more. Travion's got that skill out of the backfield. Obviously, a very good third down running back.
Skills out of the backfield.
Yeah, he does. So, you know a lot about this guy, Cam. Why don't you talk
Yeah,
about Travion for a second?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little upset with the both of you putting Travion over or under Judkins.
Well, we're gonna get there. We're gonna
Well,
get there.
that's what happens when you're
I
running back
think
2 on your own team.
I think he's not running back too.
He was.
Anyways, I think Travion is going to be a solid number 2 back the first
Exactly.
couple of years, unless there's a bad running back 1 that gets hurt, or if he's just flat out terrible. Travion can pass block. Travion can catch out of the backfield, and he has a burst of speed like no other. I mean, all you have to do is watch the playoffs.
He's got
Watch
it
him
also
against
like
Tennessee.
Jaden Blue, but yeah.
Travion does not get caught. That is his biggest thing. He will not get caught.
Neither is Jaden Blue. Keep going. Sorry. Same.
Travion is my number 2 running back in this draft.
Take off the
Strictly
helmet,
because no, the helmet is off. Travion is my number 2 running back. You look most in a pass blocker, a leader, and somebody who has a burst of speed and you can't get caught. That he has all 3 of those characteristics. Travion, and let me be frank, Travion I was not big on him coming into this year. I saw the same Travion for 3 years, and then he took a big leap this year being a leader in the locker room.
That's overrated.
He shows up in the big moments too. Showed up in the playoffs. You can go back to the Wisconsin game. 2 years ago, they were struggling.
What about the Michigan game?
And they couldn't get anything going.
Has he ever beaten Michigan? Travion?
No, that is.
Oh.
No, he might have once. No, he did once.
No, they didn't.
Are you sure?
All the seniors are 0-4. We talked about it for like a week.
I'm trying to think if he was
Michigan hasn't beat Ohio State since Justin Fields was still the quarterback.
Say that again.
Ohio State hasn't beat Michigan since Justin Fields was still the quarterback.
Very, very convenient though, but we're not going to talk about the situation. But Travion is my running back 2. If you get him in your locker room, that is a guy
running
that's
back
going
2
to work
on his own team.
I'll be honest. I don't care how good of a leader my running back is. He needs to be able to run the football. All of these guys can be leaders, and let's just roll. Running back number 3 is Judkins. Yeah, I don't know how you can be ranked above a guy that carried you and yardaged you and touchdowned you. You know, that's just me. So your comp for Henderson in the NFL was great third down running back. If he's a running back 2, that's awesome. Judkins is a running back 1. He's a starter. So that's where the 2 are different. Judkins just as explosive, actually a faster 10-yard. He's actually more explosive technically, if you want to get into the technicals. They both ran 4.4.
An 11-foot broad jump.
Yeah, he did. And he's also got he's got an inch and 20 pounds on Henderson, and he ran the
RAS. What is it? Relative athletic
score. Yep, you got it.
Judkins was insane. He's one of the highest ever recorded, and it takes into account all the stuff we're looking at here: height, weight, speed, vert, broad jump, all that production, all that kind of stuff. I don't know if that's production. It's just the athletic stuff. Anyways, he's athletically different. You're not going to find many athletes that are better in the running back position than Judkins. Obviously, Travion definitely had the home run hitting potential more than Judkins did. But if I was drafting the 2 and I needed like an every down running back, I'm probably taking Judkins before I take Henderson, and that's. To me, as a team with 0 running backs, essentially, you know, we got some old guys and some injury.
You got Devontae, he's fun.
And injury history guys. I need a little bit more of a consistent guy before I can start taking the home run hitters. Like, not taking that away from Henderson. We saw it throughout the year. But I think that's why Judkins he did see more touches and attempts at Ohio State with both Judkins and Henderson on the team because he is a better starting running back.
Yep. So that ranks you higher on our board.
That's fair.
In my opinion.
But all of that said, all of these guys, Judkins, Sampson, Henderson, and Johnson, are all like second round guys. They're all difference makers. They're all going to be good in the NFL, I think. The only difference, they should be.
See what happens.
The only difference is the top two guys are probably going to be great in the NFL. And I think that's a great segue into number 2, Omarion Hampton. Cam, you said Henderson's your number 2 running back. I'm afraid you've probably not watched any Hampton film.
I've drafted Hampton. I love Hampton.
So he should be your running back too. He's awesome
because I love Travion more.
Well, that's because you didn't take off the helmet. I told you to take off the helmet.
You put the helmet on, and then you use logic.
No, you take the helmet anyway. Logic was not anyway. Never mind. Hampton is no doubt the number 2 running back in this class. Any other year without one of the GOAT running backs of college history, and I think the numbers back that up for who's number 1 here today. Hampton's the first running back taken off the board and probably a first-round pick. He still might be a first-round pick, although there's this whole fungible running back thing. Why take Hampton in the first when you can get any of the other guys that we just talked about for 40 minutes? 1,600 yards, touchdowns, missed tackles forced, 1,200 yards after contact, ran a 4.4. He's explosive. He's 220 pounds. He does everything. He does everything on the football.
And if you look at the athletic, athletic score, I guess the score's not on here, but if you look at the height, the weight, all the tests, I mean, he's right there with Judkins, who we just talked about his score being off the charts. Hampton, I can't remember exactly what his was, but it's got to be close. I mean, the 40 is almost identical. The 10-yard is close. The vert is close. The broad jump is close. And they're both great athletes. And then you just go ahead and look at the production for Hampton. 5.9 yards per attempt, 1,600 yards, 1,200 yards after contact, 72 missed tackles forced, which is second highest now, only behind Scadaboo. But you look at the fumbles, only 1 fumble on 281 attempts, 45 explosive plays, which is third out of all the running backs.
Hampton was a 9.69. Judkins was a 9.88. Just for your RAS folks. Both are top 50 all time from like the 80s until now.
Still good.
So that's what,
So, I love Hampton, and I will say, though, he's getting a lot of crazy early draft mocks lately. Like some people have the Cowboys taking Hampton at 12. Like, I think people are referring back to last year, 2 years ago, whatever that was, 2 years ago with Gibbs and Bijan, where Bijan went first and was kind of like the definite number 1 guy, but there was a small pocket of Gibbs believers, I suppose, that were out there, and he ended up going high as well. And I think people are trying to like force that onto Hampton and Genty, who, spoiler alert, that's
Gibbs
who number 1 is.
Gibbs had 4.2, so 4.2 is what will do that at the end of the day.
And Hampton and Genty aren't so different that you would have like, oh, but this guy's super fast. Like, they're
Bijan and Gibbs were different.
They're more similar than Bijan and Gibbs, I should say. And then Genty was also on historic pace competing with Barry Sanders, which is not something that happens often. So, spoiler alert, Ashton Genty number 1.
Yes, as if he needed an introduction. I mean, look at the yards, dude. Look at the yards.
6.9 yards per attempt.
29 tutties. Look at the missed tackles. Look at the yards.
He had 2,000 yards after contact.
Dude, the
production against
I'm
going to give it to him,
opponents,
though.
too.
He carried it 375 times. I'm going to let him have 4 fumbles.
Dude, his yards after contact would be first on the list
63 explosive plays.
by
Like,
himself.
yeah, there's not much else to say about.
Nothing else you got to say. Dude's a stud. I don't know if you saw he had his pro day a couple days ago. You know, I had his shirt off. Dude is a horse.
Yeah.
I mean,
Built like a
by
bear.
golly, this guy's gonna
humble
be good.
guy too, honestly.
He is. Yeah.
So
And
I don't
you
even
know,
know. I don't even know that we need to say
138
more.
receiving yards, no problem. You know, it's fine.
He was a beast. Carried Boise State into the playoffs.
He got Boise State a bye,
Yes.
right?
That man earned Kellen Moore status at Boise State, and that's legendary.
He did. Yeah,
In all of college football.
It's arguable that 5 years from now he may even be remembered as higher than Kellen Moore if he is.
If he would have played some second halves after dominating some of these teams, he would have passed Barry Sanders for.
He would have had 3K
yards.
He would have had 3K easily.
Yeah, there was so many times where they stopped playing him just because one he already had like 200 yards on the ground and three tutties.
And had half
smoking the other team. So, but yeah,
I wish
mean,
he would have
he's
ran.
clearly the number one running back.
I'd be curious to see what his 40 would be, but it would only hurt him if he ran it. Yeah. I'm sure. I mean, there's no reason.
It would only allow people to overthink it. So
I'd be curious though.
I bet it's probably 4.5.
It'd be like a high 4.4. It'd be like
it's not going to be like a 4. It's not going to be a 4.3 or anywhere close.
A slow 4.4 or a quick 4.5.
Yeah, probably. But even, I mean, dude, just like similar with Scadaboo with the contact balance. Genty has that as well on another level.
Different level.
Similar frames, weirdly enough.
Yeah. See, if Scadaboo wasn't white, he'd be Genty.
Oh my goodness.
But no, Genty's he's different. And honestly, he's one of the best running backs in recent history. Maybe.
Yeah, like if you put him in the draft,
he's one of the guys where you go ahead and start comparing him to, like, is he better than Saquon coming out of high school? Was he better than Zeke or Derrick Henry? Definitely, because he was a second round pick, but won the Heisman, so kind of weird there. But
it's like you put him in the draft class and you say, would he go number one in this draft class? And you land on like when Saquon went fourth or whatever it was. Like that's this type of stuff. Like he's not going to go that high this year for the simple fact of the teams that are up there, but he's in that conversation.
Yeah, he would be good enough if there was a team high enough that wasn't terrible at every other position.
And if running backs were still...
Or if it was 2005.
Important, yeah.
And listen,
or
Saquon was taken by the Giants. It's a dumb team making stupid draft decisions like Daniel Jones. That's where he's going to get picked by the Raiders at 6.
He'd be sick, though, on the Bears.
He's probably... he could be a Raider. He could be a Bear.
You were all in on Genty being a Cowboy for so long. And then you just completely...
I don't think he's going to make it there. And also, I like so many of these other guys.
It's about positional
draft
value.
Him at 2.
Yeah,
draft him at 2 after you trade Dak.
Value.
Okay.
BS o'clock this time of year. It's crazy. Anyway, I think that's enough said about running backs. We talked a lot about
running back fungible leading the way on a running back.
Yes. This is why, because look at all those guys. Like you could throw a dartboard in like I said earlier, you're at Cold Stone. It's up to you to make your own ice cream in this draft class. Don't mess it up yourself.
Cold Stone is
I like that analogy.
I don't think everybody's going to understand it, but it is good ice cream.
Cold Stone is a national brand.
What do you
more of a handles guy.
No one knows what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Handles is goated.
Handles is awesome.
What you know about Grader's ice cream?
No one knows that. Now we're talking about stuff no one knows.
Don't get me started on
We know about Andy's. We know about Andy's.
What the heck is Andy? What's your dad doing?
Exactly. Michael Parsons was tweeting about it.
Andy making homemade ice cream.
He's getting the business out there.
Andy's earlier.
Anyway. I think we're good. I think that wraps us up. So
I think
thanks
that's
everybody
it.
Thanks everyone for listening. As I said earlier, please like the video, drop a subscription, comment down below if you think we're stupid. And we'll see y'all next time.
Fabian number 1. Adios.
Whatever, dude. Whatever, dude.
Number 1, dude. You said 2 earlier. Come on.
I'm saying number 1 now.
Be
'cause
consistent.
It's
Whatever, dude.